Good morning. Good morning. Happy new moon. Welcome, Casey Zabala and Fuzzy Friend. I know you just had your kitty on your lap a second ago. Hi,
No,
loves. It's so good to see you. It's so special to gather with you for the Cancer new moon. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm clinging to our community right now. I'm clinging to our magic with everything that's going on in like the earthen world right now. I believe in our magic. I believe in our witchcraft more than ever. And I am coming to you like as a covener, as like a, I must say, sister witch in this moment, saying like, I love and need you all so, so much. And we're so lucky and blessed to have Casey Zabala with us. Good morning, Casey.
oh, thank you. Good morning. I feel so blessed to be with everyone today. It's, as Angela said, it's so important to be together as witches right now and to
It
just kind
is.
of hold each other in these spaces. So
It's very
it's,
real.
it's very real. And this new
I'm
moon is very real too.
Oh, it certainly is. Every year I'm shocked by that depth of Cancer season. I don't know why. We roar through Gemini season because I am the very proud mama of an absolute Gemini queen, born on 666. So this is a person that from the second I found out their due date, my daughter was like packing a punch. And so I kind of like, uh, am thrust into Cancer season. And that's my babe, my sweetheart's Cancer sun and a Cancer moon, too, by the way. And it just
Mm.
becomes really deep immediately at the end of June for my fam. What about you, Casey?
I honestly love the transition from Gemini to Cancer and also that solstice moment.
Yes.
We talked a little about this in our coven with modern witches, but it's like this real full moon energy
Mhm.
moving into Cancer with the solstice. It's like the sun is really highlighting the lunar potencies right now, and especially on this new moon, we've got this
Yes.
really deep Cancer
Yeah.
well to tune into. So
Yeah.
I'm really loving the feels. It's not my nature to kind of go there always, and
Yeah.
it's always such a beautiful prompt to do so. So I'm honoring that right now.
That's beautiful. Well, your actual setting is stunning, and I never, ever, ever wanna see you in any other way. Like, from this moment forward, like, just the lusciousness, I feel like the nectar in the air, the lusciousness of your mountain setting is so glorious. So, we could go on and on. I'm really blessed and lucky that I get to, like, hang and work with Casey often, so we could go with our stuff back and forth always. Let's begin like we always do in my spaces, and let's light a ritual candle. I have a gorgeous candle that I just picked up yesterday at Whole Foods. Like, come on now. Don't pretend you're not that witch too. I'd love to just say that I just cobble everything with my own hands, and I do have a gorgeous platter of ingredients to show you what my witch's brew is today. We'll get to the hand granola witch shit in just a second, but right now I just want to show you this gorgeous. This reminds me of my coven friend Cole. We love the wood ode. I think you say it ode, or you say it odd. Sometimes you say odd for OUD, this wood. This candle is so yummy. And we're going to light it in the name of love now. If you're tracking at home, light a candle with us to celebrate our new moon. And I light this candle in the name of love and perfect trust to alert our spirit guides that are us. We are spirit and spirit is us, that we're present, we're here, we're open, we're listening, and we're ready to receive the messages that are meant for us. You're allowed to adore my manicure too, friends. I'm going for easy pleasures in the depths of this Cancer new moon right now. So pretty. And I know, Casey, you have something lovely that you're holding onto, a sacred object that you're bringing in today too.
Do.
Please share.
Yes, I was really feeling this morning that I don't know, someone mentioned this in the chat, maybe it was Cole, but we have this beach energy with Angela and mountain energy here. And I feel like I'm really bringing like the air and the wind and the earth today. So this is my beautiful black moonstone that I'm sharing with you all,
Wow.
and just sending you this energy to kind of go deep and look within and just kind of be with the depths of yourself on this new moon. It's a
Yeah.
resource that we can all use.
And this is about returning to your physical form with honesty. I am, the beloved lover, and I love a lover who is a Cancer sun and moon, like I said before. And let me tell you, like, if you really want to find out if like that skirt looks cute on you, you want the real answer, ask a Cancer. You're going to get the truth. This is about meeting our body in the truth of our experience right now. And that's for all new moons. The Cancer new moon asks for this really deep, intuitive answer that's gut level, that comes from the waters of your body. A deeper answer is what's kind of needed in Cancer season, I think. So we've got both of our decks. Like, we have so many neat resources that we can share with you. We both have witches brews that we're really excited to share with you. So stick around to the end when I'm going to really break down the ingredients that I used in my witches brew. But make sure that you're resourced right now. Tell me you have something lovely to drink. Chat away in the chat. Please share with us what you're drinking, where you're beaming from. We're just so happy to be able to gather with you in this really special way. I would have loved to have been at the beach. Oh my goodness. We are filled with riptides in Southern California right now. It's been a really radical time. And that doesn't surprise me. A lot of times we get big surf on super moons and full moons. A lot of times there's chaotic surf at new moons. The moon and our lunar practices, they're happening in our body. This is why I love being a witch and working with the moon. It gives me a chance to tune in deeper to those lunar energies, to the cosmic energies, and to the embodiment of my dreams, of what I'm going through in every moment. And when I said that witchcraft is more important to me than ever, that's why. Because in this time of great chaos, witchcraft, like the religion I was raised with, isn't going to tell me this is why and this is how. It's going to hold me in my experience as an animal that is of the earth, as an animal that is part of the earth and part of our grand shared web of life. So I love the non-dogmatic form of exploration and curiosity that is my beloved forever witchcraft. That is my TED Talk, honeys. It's time for me to really show off my witch's brew. Casey, what are you feeling right now?
Well, I'm feeling everything you just said. And I just want to remind everyone that, being in your body can be really difficult. And the systems that be are making it very difficult for us to be in in our bodies, and they want us to dissociate from our bodies. But there's so much power in just being present with what is showing up in our bodies, and the moon can help us do that. So thank you, moon. Thank you, lunar
Yes.
energies.
Yes.
And remembering to nourish yourself in simple ways. When I was making my witch's brew this morning and just pouring the hot water over the herb, like really thinking about my mixture, it was an act of love, a devotional practice. And I think it doesn't have to be complicated, right? Just
That's where
keeping it simple.
we are so in alignment, Casey. Do you mind just like, I am going to do that thing where I try to keep people present for a period of time. It is powerful for this platform that we're together on. When we gather for more minutes digitally, it lets more folks know that we exist. And I do sustain myself with this work, and it's my dream. I mean, I'm very like open book obvious about the actual professional work I do as a witch. I'm trying to pull Modern Witches Confluence into YouTube in a really big way. This is a way forward for we witches in a really special way. So I'm not going to give you my recipe till the end. but I do want you to see little sweet things. Do we not have are we good? Great. Thank you so much. I love it so much. So Casey, yeah, that
I'm just
jar
curious to
of
everyone in the chat.
elixir.
Yeah, just because I see some people sharing what they're drinking in the chat. Crisp mineral water sounds right now.
It
Kate,
really does.
Kate,
My
wow.
sweetie is such a good Cancer. They ran in from their little office space because we're so blessed that we get to work together at home now in all of 2022. What a lover's year moment, right? That Eva Johnson is sipping butterfly pea tea, and I really wanted to make a butterfly pea elixir for us today, and the world was like, nope. So I'm excited that there's a witch amongst us that's drinking butterfly blue pea. I love, 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 love that elixir. And I've just not been able to make anything publicly with it, but I fuck with it at home a bunch. Oh my gosh.
Eva
Casey.
said she was, or they were thinking about you when they made it.
Oh, that's wonderful. Hi,
Yes.
twins. It's good to see you, Claire. Hey. Really fun to see everybody today.
It's fun to see people
you.
like sharing herbs that are in other concoctions too. So when you think about it, we're all dosing on a similar energy, or a lot of us here. So that's kind of a fun thing.
Amy in New York drinking coffee. Yes, thank you so much. That is like my main vein. I am a coffee witch all the way, all the way. Hi, Teresa. Oh my goodness. Lemon lavender. That's so gorgeous. Yummy. I love that so much. So, honey loves, one way that Casey and I are in what I feel is total alignment is in the way that we practice and believe in non-hierarchical magic, believe in ethical magic that's created in a way that supports us and supports us supporting other people, if that makes sense. So listen, I mean that. When I hold you in your genius with your lavender lemon, coffee, butterfly blue pea, I'm literally supporting my body when I do that. I'm loving my own family just a little bit more by being open to what it is that speaks to you and how you're embodying your magic. So, one thing I really, really love is for folks to practice together. So, why don't we take a moment? And if you've got your tarot or oracle deck handy, particularly if you've got Casey's Wanderer's Tarot or their Weird Sisters Oracle, or if you've got my Moon Baby Magic Tarot, or if you're really feeling spicy, you got your Altalune Sensual Oracle cards, take a moment and maybe pull a card from the center. If you have a special card you're working with, please share it in the chat. This will be specifically for how the methodology. This is a tarot prompt for finding your way back to your physical animal body in a time of great distraction. And I am with you, Casey. The powers that be, which is corporations, do not want us to be in touch with our body, with supporting our body, honestly. They must control the narrative to try to control our bodies. And this is no QAnon shit. This is the reality of it. People be out there trying to get us to just buy their stuff, to stay distracted from our own stuff. So let's push back. Let's pull a nice card that shows us, and this is perfect. I have pulled the Emperor card with that full moon energy on it, Casey. The full moon Emperor keyword is structure. This is about me fortifying my own foundational beliefs and truths that my body is producing in sensation. So I must share the truth. I have a cold, friends. I'm rather physically miserable right now. And that is the truth. So I'm taking this witch booty back to bed right after our live stream.
Yes.
I love that this purple is here showing me to really center my intuition. And I say it almost every day. Intuition is sensuous. It shows up in sensation in our body. It's not out there. You're not wrong for saying, when I seek out there, I hear nothing. Honey, that's a trickery. It's a lie. The intuitive space is not out there. It's in here. What's your body telling you? That's your intuition.
Yes. You know, I loved your prompt so much. What can pull us back into presence? And I pulled one of the weird sisters, what is unfolding? So it's really
Ooh,
rooted in like what is happening in this present moment for you. Not about
gorgeous.
necessarily about spiraling out into the future or living in the past, really just being present with the immensity of your intuitive information that you're processing, your emotional body, your physical body, your spiritual body, and what the world is doing around you. Like
Mhm.
really paying attention to your garden, your neighborhood, your community, listening, hearing things on the street, just tuning in and letting that wash through you.
I love your artwork so damn much. Please break it down, like just artist to artist. Start at the bottom. Is that a whole damn root system?
These are tree roots. So
Ugh,
the weird sisters were known to live at the base of the world tree. So they're kind of part of the tree in this deck. Um, and this is the present, the one who, excuse me, is weaving fate actively through us, with us. And there
great.
is a full moon vibe to this card for sure, energetically.
It is. And those hands in their symmetry are giving me a lot of breast. And
Mm-hmm.
like, this is me trying to tease you to stay to the end because I really want to give you like this very nectar laden mama's milk
Yeah.
recipe of my witch's brew today. I'm really feeling like that universal truth of just mother's milk flowing
Mm-hmm.
and nourishing in ways that scientists are still discovering because it's so fucking beautiful and perfect. I just can't even tell you how much I'm feeling like that gorgeous body nectar
Mm-hmm.
ping in this moment. So I'm really glad that we're working with the theme of witches brews. I
Yeah.
mean, when we nourish ourselves, when we sip, when we have regard for every cell of our body being plumped with our own earth magic that we create with our hands, um, I believe that we can come into greater alignment, and there's this softening of our joints and our tendons and our
Mm-hmm.
ability to still feel like we can access our own love of ourselves and life itself. And that's the message I'm getting from that full moon that's on the Emperor card. Full moons are for celebrating your life exactly as it is. I can't sit here and say, if you become a witch, you're going to be so much happier and the world's going to be better. And if we were all witches, the whole world would right all of these wrongs, because I just believe we are in charge of our own individual journey. And on new moons, it's about kind of being with the opposite of that full moon. It's about being with your disappointments. It's about being with your suffering. It's about
Mm-hmm.
having regard for the pain that you're feeling and the suffering of the world. And you have to rest. It's like the lunar practices of being with the 8 phases of the moon just give us space to do it all for ourselves. Pleasure and pain as equal teachers. Thank you, sweeties, for giving me love for having a cold. It's so dumb. I just
Yeah.
have a splitting headache. Yay.
Oh,
And I don't know what.
I see that Maddie pulled a card that has similar energy to Tower Uranus in Scorpio. Interesting.
Ooh,
I feel that,
yeah.
Maddie.
Yeah.
Daisy, hello. I pulled the Daisy pulled the spell for breaking cycles from the Weird Sisters
Oh,
deck.
that's
Nice.
so awesome. Oh
Love
my
that
gosh,
card.
I just really wish that we could like send a link and all of a sudden Daisy came in and told us like how we could break that spell.
I
for the
know.
cycles of say, I don't know, the Supreme Court of the United States. I think we're just getting started, honeys. Lean into your magic, lean into your lunar practices, lean into your community of folks that are taking care of their bodies. We're going to need to be pretty resourced right now in how we care for ourselves in this time. Oh my goodness, Mel, it's so good to see you. Yes, 10 of Blades, those swords over the pomegranate. Yes. Literally, we have to take the gifts that we have and use the falling gravitational pull of the systems of oppression around us and put our gifts underneath those piercing spaces of the blade to split open and let the magic of the pomegranate spill out. So we have to kind of use their harmful ways to help break open the coconuts, honeys, you know?
Yes, I feel like you're invoking like the Persephone energy, which I think is so real on this new moon, especially
Yeah.
with the asteroid Lilith conjunct the new moon. So there's this energy. The goddess wants to come forward and wants to be expressed through us. And I'm saying goddess, and I mean the multi-dimensional genderless archetype of the goddess,
Yes.
with her rage and complexity and darkness and all of it. So just encouraging everyone, like if you haven't lately, or if it hasn't been, think about the goddess and how it shows up in your life,
Yeah.
especially the more deeper ancestral, really, like, I don't know, I was talking to Angela about this, but like center of the earth type energy.
Mm-hmm. So if you feel moved to speak on that more, when you talk about Persephone wanting to emerge and be revealed, I mean, do you have any kind of wild tongue musing that you want to do on that? Because that feels so real. In the dark, we can emerge. I love the new moon for giving us that darkness, that downbeat, that ability to just see differently, to use different parts of our bodies to perceive and hear. It's a different quality of listening. But give it to me with all your Persephone magic.
Well, there's a pre-patriarchal retelling of Persephone that I think is important for all witches to be aware of, which is that Persephone wasn't traumatized and like ripped from the earth and taken to the underworld. Persephone chose to become a psychopomp, to journey to the underworld. And they're a very unique figure in mythology as like an energy, as a goddess, because they have this really beautiful autonomy to go to the underworld and return. And a lot of times in myths, they're taken to the underworld and they stay there forever. That's it. But Persephone made the conscious choice to go into the darkness, to become the queen of the underworld, because perhaps she realized, wow, there needs to be this feminine, femme energy, like holding down the underworld spaces and supporting the lost souls in their journeys into the other world. So I really think that Persephone has a lot to teach us about kind of going into those places that seem really dark and scary, but actually, those places are places kind of like our shadow we need to love and embrace and be present with and hold space for in a different way. So Persephone has a lot
Yes.
to teach us.
The richness of the soil that's in the dark and contains all of the nourishment that we need. Today, I had to wear my lotus seed necklace that I've had for decades. In Cancer season period, but on the Cancer new moon, super in particular, we worship those places that can only be activated by the nourishment of all of the death and information, the genius of the plants and all of the flowers that were once in bloom. It's an epic opportunity to work on, kicking your ageist bullshit to the curb, because it's not all about like those bright flowers. Without the information of their death and their aged self, there's no future flowers. So it's really, we have to have the darkness. We have to have the muck and the mire at the bottom of the pond, or else there can be no lotus. There can be no further life. Not enough worshiping of the dark in our culture. That is for
No.
damn sure. But this is coming from a person who's lived lifelong in a beach town that's become a resort town in my lifetime, where like literally there's people with denim Brazilian bathing suits, thongs. of all the hysteria, I get a kick out of living in a place that's so utterly in denial of what I believe is the truth of life, because that shit's funny. Shit's funny when you see somebody in a ripped up, cut off denim thong. That's funny stuff. So I can't get into my dark moon practices enough. And that's something that Casey and I really, really share. We love the balsamic moon. We love the new moon. And there's so much truth, and there's so much essential wisdom that comes from rest and our dream life. So this is when you can get really into like your sleep hygiene practices. I hate to be so mom about it, but I don't at the same time. Sleep hygiene, cuties. It's a big deal.
Oh,
Like
totally.
to bed.
Yeah, sleeping. I hope people are paying attention to their dreams right now. And I was just looking in the chat. There's so much beautiful stuff happening here.
Yes. Yeah, thank you.
Thank
Oh,
you all for being here
Yasmin, I'm
and
so
sharing.
happy to see you, friends. This is so nice.
It's so nice.
Well, speaking of
Jennifer is bringing in
dreams.
Inanna, which I love. Oh, sorry. Go
Oh
ahead.
my gosh, yes, no, please keep going, Casey. We're
No,
gonna
I
do
just
another
love
tarot
that
prompt
Inanna's
after we
here
look at the chat.
because
Yes.
they're the, I don't know, the first sort of like written record we have of the goddess who journeys to the underworld. So thank you for bringing them in.
I've got a personal question for Casey. Casey, now that you just got your graduate degree, you have so much just incredible knowledge and wisdom. I'm wondering if you have anything you want to share with us that's emerging from that. Any way that you're going to be sharing your book smartness with
Um,
our beloved witchcraft?
I'm starting to post more of my writing on my website. So if you're interested in that, you can go to
Amazing.
wanderstarot.com/writings.
Oh my
Um,
goodness. I did not
and
know that. This is great. I'm going to stick that in the chat. Hang on, everybody. I'll figure it
things are
out.
emerging for sure. But I'm also just really integrating a lot of things as well. I think I spend a lot of my time thinking about the darkness and thinking about the things that aren't represented in academia and in our modern societies and how that's caused so much turmoil for us. And so really working with plutonic energies right now in my own life transits, but also encouraging people to kind of talk and think about Pluto as we are in the US's Pluto return, and really sort of forging a new relationship with plutonic energies, ones that can perhaps be liberating, rather than focusing so much on the destruction, even though it is a destroyer planet. But we need some destruction. I don't know if you all feel that way, but there's some systems that need to be destroyed. So
completely. Now, when we were musing about gathering this morning, and I was just being like little baby tender love with my little cold that I've got going right now, I was thinking about what it is. I'm almost always the oldest person in all the spaces that I'm in. I'm 56 in autumn. I'm an October witch. I'm going to be 57. So like slap my ass and call me 60. Like it's happening. Right. And I'm excited about that. I want to just tell you this memory flashed in my brain today, musing on what things used to be like, because it was what I consider to be a lot worse when I was a kid. there's clashing now because there's awareness that the systems of oppression don't work. They are unsustainable. Our body tells us so. People in classrooms used to just get hit by teachers. And it was just a simple thought that in my lived experience, people just got hit by the teacher. That is so wrong.
So wrong.
And it doesn't happen to my kids. So I would tell you to hold on to any kind of improvements, as it looks like things could get pretty intense as these clashes continue now. It's a tower moment, without a doubt. My sweetie is just sending me the cutest notes right now on hot
That's
pink
so cute.
Post-its. Yasmin was dumped after 16 years. Yasmin, I just want to
Mm,
get in my little hybrid car and drive to Florida and like inappropriately like just rail against a long-term breakup. Oh my goodness, you are in your new moon right now,
yeah.
babe. Sending you so much hugs. You know, I hug on camera because your body can feel it. What you see, you can feel. And that's
Mm.
why I love ASMR so, so much. So I'm hugging you, Yasmin. All of us, everybody hug yourself right now for Yasmin. Oh, blessings, honey. Onward and upward. To greener pastures you go, my love. I'm really sorry to hear that, but how cute is this? Like breaking news on pink Post-it notes. Um, how are you doing, Yasmin? I don't see that in the chat, but I know it's there.
Got a
I love
little,
a little beep beep car.
yeah, he's so cute. Cancer moon car. Cancer
Yeah,
moon travels. Hope they're nourishing.
absolutely. It's the chariot all the way,
Yeah.
honey. The chariot. So we all traveled to you with great big hugs right now, sweetheart. Um, I expect there'll be lots of breakups. Okay. These
Mhm.
tower moments, that debris, the shards of the rubble, they can really take good with bad, out. It's really
Right.
true. And just really quick, sweethearts, not to like pivot away too much. I did put Casey's lovely website. It's really pretty. I put it in the chat so you can just easily click over to their website and
Mhm.
know that Casey is really so integral, and there is not a man behind the curtain at Modern Witches Confluence. There are a few helpers, but mostly what you see Casey's producing. And so thank you for the space that you hold for so many witches, and
Mhm.
thank you to all the witches that have supported Modern Witches Confluence. As
Truly.
the team has ebbed and flowed in size, I honor everybody that's come in and assisted. Our family is so proud to sponsor Modern Witches with the tiny bit that we can, and just I'm learn so much from you all the time. I'm glad you brought up Pluto. I got to bring up Venus, honeys,
Yes.
especially because there's a breakup in the chat now.
We need Venus.
Venus is the ruler of love and gardens, all of the arts, all of the arts,
And
money,
yeah.
and sexuality. Like, oof,
And
doing it
justice
all.
too.
I did not know that. That makes sense, though.
Yeah. Her more ancient significations relate to justice, which I think is like just makes me so happy, you know?
Me too. How could you not be the ruler over, verdant, fecund fields in gardens and not be about equity and balance?
Right.
Because gardens are so honest. It's like you ain't got the light and you ain't got the nourishment and the water and you ain't got it. You ain't got the pollinators, you ain't got it. It's just very clear what it needs. It's very honest. Oh, this
Mm.
is lovely. Cancer Venus. Oh, Yasmin, you are just doing it hard, aren't you, babe? Oh, loving you so much. Thank you
I'm a
so much,
Cancer Venus
sweetheart.
too, Yasmin, so
That's
feeling you
awesome.
tenderly.
Yeah, big time. Oh, unceremoniously dumped. I had to scroll back in the chat to see how it was. Oh, it believe in the muck, Yasmin. Believe in the muck. Take good care of yourself. And your lunar practice can hold your grief enactment. Your grief is a spell. Okay. And 8 phases of the moon, again and again, it might take some time, can hold all of the places that need to be expressed. Cancer is a water sign, and water is about expressing yourself. It's about transmuting the nectars of your form and expressing how you feel outward. So, how you're feeling must be expressed. I bet you're writing a lot right now, honey.
Hmm.
I was going to do a little tarot prompt, and I'm going
Yeah.
to yield for a sec. Casey, I hope that doesn't put you on the spot too much. Would you like to create a tarot oracle prompt or divination prompt?
Yes.
I think I saw
Yeah.
somebody talk about runes in the chat as well.
I know. I love that. There
Me
was rune
too.
pulling. Um, yeah, the deck was just like, you need to pull a card. And I think the prompt is really about calling in Venus and calling in Venus's nourishment and guidance today on this new moon. Like, how can you really invite Venus into your devotional practice? So it's
Gorgeous. Oh, I love it so much, honey. So I pulled the Six of Lasers, aka the Six of Wands, with the keyword adulation. The party bus is here. We are together. We have each other. Um, if you need company, you can pop into my ASMR playlist. I've got 35 videos over there. Like, connect with community. Be the main character in this ticker tape parade. Love yourself so much that you just surround yourself in those cosmic streamers of self-love. Let it drip like honey. It's important.
Mm,
It really is. If you're not going to party for yourself, I don't know how people are going to get the invitation. Yasmin, wild tongue is upon us. The way you have been expressing your truth and your voice, especially in these wild times that have gone on since the pandemonium, that's part of the shift, you telling the truth in that way. And getting dumped means that they just can't handle it. You're becoming yourself. There is nothing but glory in that. So I'm feeling like you speaking your truth is the most Venusian thing, because it's you saying what you love and what you believe.
so real. You know, I pulled the Tower reversed.
Whoa.
And I love this because I think there's that Venus, that Justice Venus present and on my mind. And I think in this new moon, I think there's like a kind of like this, I can't really, this rage scream happening, like primal scream happening in like this really like nourishing way, like a cathartic, nourishing, just awareness of these toxic systems. And when I see the tower reversed, I see this real kind of like pitch for liberation, like a real like spring has popped and we're able to kind of really remove ourselves from those relationships, systems, jobs, um, contracts, energetic or karmic, that have been keeping us from our full potential of freedom and expression.
Yeah.
So Venus can help us in that. Venus can, and we talked about this, Angela, before we got on, but it is about pleasure. It's about finding pleasure in this process of liberation and destruction. And I think as witches, we're really uniquely resourced to do that.
I totally agree. If there was a bumper sticker, I would want it to say, like, I want to drive behind a little putt-putt electric vehicle that says, as witches, we are uniquely resourced for this.
Yes.
We are made for these times.
Mm-hmm.
Our practice, it is painful to see
Mm-hmm.
people hanging on to things that just aren't working. I believe in magic so much. I'm ready to be folded back into the earth with the full truth in my bones, that I lived my life in collaboration with everything I could understand, with the energies of north, east, south, west, and center. You know, I
Mm-hmm.
think we're uniquely resourced, Casey. You're so right. In Moonbaby Magic Tarot, when the tower's reversed, there's one keyword. It's a 4-letter word, all caps with an exclamation point. Rest.
Oh, yes.
The most mama witch friggin' thing that you could ever, like, fully professionally and publicly say.
But I love that. Like, stopping and resting is such a radical act in capitalism. Like, that's the exact opposite of what they want from us.
Yeah.
Could be a good strike idea. Just throwing that out there.
Oh my God. A strike rest. Literally, like, that's the theme of it. It's like the opposite of just like coming home from the protests with no voice. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
it's like just this. Faye and I, because I want to share with you, this is my teaser about my witch's brew. This recipe came from my gorgeous, amazing baby moon sis witch daughter. So you're in for a very, very special treat. Sweet 16 and just radical as fuck right now.
Love it.
And we were remembering, and this is inside of the terrifying and horrible picture of people dying in hospitals of COVID. But in 2020, in the first weeks, there was such stillness. And where I live, there's so much air traffic because airplanes fly over the ocean. And when they take off and land, fly in and out over the ocean. And just having stillness and the way that the birds immediately took up space. And that's something that's being studied now at Cornell in their amazing ornithology program. Like, nature just instantly responded and took up space. And there was so much joy. There was so much peace. I am saying that in the face of realizing fully that people were screaming in my neighborhood about science and screaming of, to death in hospitals, dying without their loved ones. I do know that, but the juxtaposition was, while the rest of the world was sheltering, there was a peace and a rest. And in this suffering that we're all going through, watching and observing and happening to our physical bodies, all of these systems of oppression are raging right now. They're scared. They're on the run.
Oh, yeah.
They're popping that final boner.
Mm-hmm. Yep. This is the death rattle.
Full on. We're just so gorgeous to hang out with, aren't we? I mean, when we talked about gathering for all the new moons of 2022, I'm like, okay, well, that's when we grieve. That's when we
Yeah.
rest. That's when we talk shit around the fire in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
That's when we care for each other. I love how it's turning out. I know we've missed a couple for different various reasons, honeys, but your presence is absolutely gorgeous. I'm just going to take a peek at the time. Does anybody have a question for Casey or I that you spontaneously want to ask in the chat? Because Ask a Witch was also part of the original intention of this. Anybody need anything from us right now? Oh, you had to let go your boyfriend of 4 years, Sandra. Oh my goodness. Leave his toxicity life and bring you up again in Mother Nature.
Mm-hmm.
Big hugs.
Yeah.
It's not easy. It's not easy. I'm lucky in love, and that's a fact. I am in love. My partner's in love with me, and it's totally not easy. You know?
Totally.
There's this radical joy, this violent joy that teenagers have to be going through. It's physical. They have to be going through it. And it's really challenging for us because we're such older parents. It's like we skip a generation amongst our kids, and it's like uh there's a real intensity in our household because they have to party. They have to go have fun. They have to be laughing
Mhm.
really hard. And I remember that. They can't always be at the protests. It's pretty fun when they do show up, though.
Mhm. Should we share our witches brews, Angela?
That'd be amazing. I'd love that.
My ice
Please,
melted as I
but
was sitting here because it's hot.
and it's literally, honey, it's infused by the sun.
Yes.
Your whole crown is literally glowing. Your whole body is just glowing. The field behind you, that medium shrub line, has started to completely glow. If you ever watch the video that Casey and I created over on the Modern Witches Confluence channel, and Casey, I don't know if you feel like you want to drop that in.
Yeah.
We created a video, and at the end of the video, Casey's standing in that field. And was it October when we created our video, hun?
I think it was.
The way that we're able to see this at full tilt summer, you can look at it at the opposite end in autumn, and it's just so gorgeous. There's literally like little fashion leaves showing off, just drifting down to earth with you standing in that field. It's one of my most favorite videos
Aw,
ever.
I love it so much too. It was so fun to make with you.
Really super special. Tell us about your witch's brew, honey.
Okay, so my witch's brew. Let me see.
Is there an intention behind it?
Yeah, so I kind of just was calling on this dark moon energy to guide me picking the herbs. So I have rose in here for Venus. I have Tulsi in here just to kind of calm and soothe the nervous
Yes.
system. And I have some blue cornflower in here as
Oh.
well to just activate a little bit
Mm.
more of my intuitive feels, my dreams. And then I always like to pick something from the garden that's like blooming and ready to go. So I put some fresh lemon balm in there.
Oh, that's so beautiful. What's the flavor like? Can you describe it?
Mm, it's kind of like a mellow. I don't put sweetener typically, but it would be good with sweetener. There's like a hint of citrus in here from the lemon balm, and it's just like mellow, kind of sunlight, hazy meadow moment.
Oh, wow.
It's really
I would
delicious.
order that on any menu, whether it was like an entree, an appetite, mellow, hazy meadow.
Mellow hazy meadow. And I was gonna have it as a hot tea, but I put it over ice and it was really delicious. So
It's
I'm an ice
heavenly.
witch in the 80-degree weather I'm in right now, which has been really
How
great.
did you create it? How can you bring into this video moment, like how
Mhm.
you physically collected it? Did you use moon infused water?
So I'm lucky to live in Mount Shasta and our water is just really, really gorgeous.
That's
I'm
awesome.
very, very lucky. We're so many springs here and the water is so pure. So that's always part of it. And yeah, I just keep a stash of herbs. I'm, the witch who has lots of jars in their life.
Yes.
The roses I collected last summer and dried, so they're from my garden. They're pink, kind of like a native rose. Um, and yeah, the cornflower has been a big kind of a dream ally for me. So I'll make cornflower and like chamomile tea for bed. Uh,
Mm,
But I like to
beautiful.
bring in during the dark moon a little bit more dreamy herb energy into my daytime routine.
So heavenly. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for that gorgeous recipe. Casey wrote it down in a book. I don't know if you planned on flashing that so
Oh
folks
yeah.
could screen grab it. We both have our unique, entirely physically three-dimensional embodiment of our friends, and that's backwards, and that's okay. The app that we're using unfortunately makes it backwards, but screen
Mhm.
grab it anyways. You can take it to your mirror and see it, which I think is a gorgeous new
There you
moon
go.
thing to do, right?
Yes. I even got some tea on it, so
It's perfect. It's
yeah.
blessed. It looks like it's like unbleached paper and just super witchified, like to the boneyard.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you
So
for bringing this in here for me. I see other people drinking Tulsi and Rose too, so we're together
I
on
love
that.
it. Tulsi is holy basil, right?
Hmm.
I just didn't know if there's like a specific kind of, I didn't want to like speak. Somebody like hard corrected me about Datura the other day on Instagram, because that's so cute and fun. Making friends, it's just so nice. But I was able to get deeper into what I believe about Datura and Angel Trumpet. They're all in the nightshade family. And
Mm-hmm.
so I actually love what became from that. Now I realize, because I was saying what my top three were: Sunflower, Sun, Datura, Moon, and I can't remember what my rising was. But I
Was it
know I
basil? I don't know. I remember
maybe
you posting about basil recently.
Rosemary. It was Rosemary
Rosemary.
rising full on.
Love
But
that.
now I realize I'm nightshade moon, and isn't that so much better?
Yes.
I'm all of those plants, the poisonous and the pretty and all of it.
Lovely.
So I created our witch's brew from my beautiful daughter this morning by myself. This is something she created for our family at our midnight feast on summer solstice the other day.
Mm.
And I'm creating it for us today because this is really similar to what I drank every day when I was pregnant with her, that I just called the baby shake then. And this is about being a baby today. The new moon happens on one day. This is the day where we begin. There's a big intention to the next lunation. So you have a golden opportunity right now to really be your beloved newborn baby.
Mm.
Let this next lunation be just absolutely a standalone enactment of life, full life, of the baby you are today. So this is, I called it, and I had consent to do this for my daughter. I don't dare go without asking. This is the Witch's Brew blend for the deep end of the ocean on the Cancer new moon, supporting communal bonds and slow love. Like,
Mm.
that's the kind of bumper sticker I'm gonna make, friends. It's gonna be
Yes.
way too much.
Witches need
Words,
some more bumper stickers.
long ass bumper
Yeah.
stickers. So I wanna show you the platter I put together with some of the ingredients that are in my witch's brew. I have a post that I'm posting on Patreon that'll have the brew written down like a typical recipe, where you have the exact ingredients and everything. So you're very welcome to join me over in my Witchcraft Club on Patreon. This brew has a base of coconut milk, bananas,
Mm.
fresh ginger, allspice, turmeric, cloves, and what am I forgetting? Allspice, turmeric, cloves. What's that guy? I might have to get up and go look. I know my sweetie's probably going to hustle in here with the pink
Cinnamon?
post and tell me. Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Daisy. The easiest one. I'm telling you, I'm a baby. I need my bed. I need my
Yeah.
bubba. I need a nap. But this was created in a blender, and I poured it over liquor store ice, and I stand by that. Like, when I get to go to 7-Eleven and buy
Mm.
the really good cubes,
Yeah.
that's me being super happy. So it's served over ice. I just love the sound of it tinkling in the glass. It's kind of on the thick side, but it's not a smoothie on any level. It's got a really delicious foamy head. Isn't that heaven? Are we
Yum.
in love with the color?
Yes.
I am. It's got this just heft to it and incredible, profound comfort. And I was resistant. We've always had a midnight feast on winter solstice, which is like an old witches practice. And sometimes I can get like that, like, oh, we witches carry the light. We have our midnight feast. My daughter's like, well, it's solstice, so we're going to have a midnight feast, right? I was like, oh, I've never done that for summer solstice. I was tired, um, a little bit resistant somewhere inside. And she handed this to me. Oh my gosh.
And you
I
said,
just
okay.
told her, I'll follow you to the ends of the earth. I mean, the banana is just the most like,
Yeah.
why is this not in school lunches?
I want
The
that.
downloads are just flowing from this drink made by my daughter's hands. Like, how is it that kids aren't showing up in schools on beautiful chariots, um, you know, with a little pillow that's
Yeah.
stuffed with the ingredients to make their own gorgeous, like, banana golden milk communal slow love brew,
Mm,
and then just dance and color and support each other and make
same.
art.
Wow. This is the visioning we need to be doing, witches. We're doing it.
Well, they let me in the classrooms, honeys, and I volunteered in both my kids' classrooms all the way through. And they're so desperate in public schools for volunteers. My kids went to a Title I school, so it was wonderfully diverse. Um, and I had a lot of freedom. Let's just say that. If we're going to be supporting a Supreme Court that allows people to pray to a specific Christian God, well, I
Witches.
will continue to do the work that I do.
Yeah. And we can
And I
praise, I
think,
mean, we can
yeah,
praise whoever we want to praise.
yes, exactly. How about my body? Teaching those kids to worship their bodies was just such a joy. Kids are so naturally geared towards worshiping their own body. It's so
Yeah.
fabulous. God, those were fun times. And, you know, knowing that no one was going to get hit, like in my childhood, people just got hit all the time in school. And that was like, we went to a school, a public school. My dad was a public school teacher. He would make people do push-ups in class when they, to discipline them. Um, but that we had like the iron fist principal at my school, and we were called a model school, quote unquote. And
Wow.
it's like, because most principals were women, so we had a really hitty school, you know, because this man was there. Just um yeah,
There's so much trauma we're collectively
so much.
moving through. And I think to your point, Angela, we are, might not seem like it, but because there's a lot of backsliding happening, but together, if we're aware of it, we can move through it relatively quickly. Like we can heal things relatively quickly. We just have to persist and continue showing up with love.
Have you ever supported a candidate that's lost and then won big the next time? Happens all the time.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, with Prop 8 coming in when my babies were in double
Yep.
strollers at those protests, and we were screamed at as just a mom with two little babies in a double stroller. You know, my daughter's born in June, and that was in November at these or October at these protests. She was little. It's just screaming, you know? And we found our voice from that. We're finding our voice. It's going to be an interesting time. Take super good care of your body. So yes, the ingredients and the recipe in itself will be over in my Witchcraft Club cuties. But isn't this pretty?
Absolutely gorgeous. Thank you. Sounds delicious.
It's so damn yummy. I can't even tell you. Jason's here. You're watching while you work. Look at you saying that in public. I hope your boss is watching. Oh, hi, Renee. It's good to see you. So, sweethearts, I don't see any questions in the chat except for one of my favorites in the whole wide world who's asked about a poem that could embody, and I want to get this right. So, I'm going to scroll back up. I want to get the words right. A poem about, oh, sweeties, bless your souls. Thank you for chatting so much. It's so great for the algorithm. I appreciate that. Natasha, if you're still here, I would love to have you re-ask the question. But I know what I'm going to do anyways, because one of my absolute favorite little books of magic is Dear Universe by the gorgeous Yolo Akili. They are right here. They are an LA artist. They have a little book that is so packs such a punch. It's little letters to the universe. And I like to choose these in an intuitive way. So I think I'll do that before we close out. It went to the introduction, okay, sweetheart? So we're going to just do it. We're going to go again. Dear universe, today I ask that you help me to liberate myself from the imaginary monsters I've made up in my mind. Many of us live Scooby-Doo lives. We run panicked around large, empty, haunted houses, in parentheses, our minds, chased by imaginary made-up monsters, in parentheses, our fears. Like Scooby and the gang, when we confront these monsters and unmask them, we often find out they're not as scary as we thought. In fact, we often find out the monsters are not even real. Today, I want to invite you to be Scooby and the gang. Set a trap for those goblins and ghouls you have in your head. Once you catch them, unmask them and take a good hard look at what they really are underneath all the face paint, rubber masks, and makeup. They may not be quite as scary as you think. In fact, they may end up looking a lot like you. Universe, today help me to unmask my internal monsters and see them for the irrational fears they are. I mean, thank you, Yolo Akili, and thank you for asking for that poem. I really appreciate that so much. Honeys, it's been so gorgeous to gather, and really everyone here. Casey creates the space on the new moons to gather with us as a gift, and it's a hugely appreciated here. So red hearts in the chat for Casey showing up on my channel. Please take a second and subscribe to my channel. It's a really big deal. It's a really pivotal time in my career right now, and I'm just honed in on YouTube more than ever. Please take a moment and subscribe to Modern Witches Confluence, because I'm doing what I can to throw these little seeds and breadcrumbs out there to feed the birds that support them showing up on YouTube lots, because it is a really special place for me. And I'm hoping we can just keep growing and going together. Thank you for your red hearts. I love seeing it, honeys. Thank you so much. I love
Thank you,
it so
sweeties.
much. It's been gorgeous. Loving seeing our friends from the UK. Thank you, Lady Mel. We absolutely love seeing you here. And I think I saw Kelliplin here earlier from Canada. It's just so neat to have everybody here. Hi. Hi, loves. Oh,
Happy
you're
new
dolls.
moon. I hope
Happy
you
new
all have like a really beautiful, just restful, gorgeous, reflective day, and take care of yourselves.
Yeah. We love you. Thank you again, Casey. You're divine.
Oh, you're amazing. Thank you so much. Cheers. Have good rest.
Yeah. Rest well with a capital REST exclamation point, loves. Take care.
Bye.